Say goodbye to Witchcraft on the budget? What? Has the punk monk gone mad? I don't think so, guys. Not necessarily. Find out the three keys that I've used to prevent me from ever having to work a day job in order to support my practice of the craft, and why I say that every witch should say no to witchcraft on a budget. We'll talk about that on Inner Alchemy After Dark when we come back. Hey guys, we're back. It's the Punk Monk, Daddy Warlock, John Michael Salvato, and you're watching Inner Alchemy After Dark, a live broadcast we've put together based on your requests for some practical magic insights, frank discussion, and ideas for a new generation of witches, magicians, sorcerers, and warlocks. And it's also a great way to just work off this buzz before I go into round two. So go ahead and drop a comment. Let me go ahead and put the comment section open. Go ahead and drop a comment and let us know if you're tuning in live or you're tuning in on the replay. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll get started and dig right into tonight's question. So why is it that you recently said it was, I'm trying to read this comment. Okay, why is it that you recently said it was no longer necessary to approach witchcraft on a budget? All right, that's perfect. That is what we are going to be talking about actually tonight. And we're going to talk about how a serious practitioner can support their witchcraft, I believe, magic, sorcery, root work, and other aspects of the craft without getting a day job or without getting caught up in having to cut corners. First of all, let's understand that your practice of the craft should not be something that's a burden to you ever. So this idea of getting stressed over cutting corners or being able to use this ingredient versus that ingredient, allow yourself the space to be creative. This is as much a science as it is an art, and as much an art as it is a science. And so allow yourself some flexibility. This idea of dogmatism and you got to use this and you got to do it this way, that comes out of the 50s and the 60s and a completely different mindset. So in order to answer the question, how is it possible to approach witchcraft without worrying about your budget? I'm going to share with you a couple things that my mentor, the late Mr. Jim Rohn, taught me right from the start of my entrepreneurial career. And the first thing that he said to me was, don't become a Me Too marketer. And I want you to think about it. We see it all the time. People who do live broadcasts, doing card readings or rune divinations, scrying or what have you, in an effort to grow their income from practicing their craft. And as a result, it becomes very stressful because in preparation for this broadcast, I put that idea to the test. Somebody said to me that they really thought that I was off base on this one. And so I said, okay, let's go ahead and put it to the test. I joined the 17,404, I think it was, other people that were offering tarot card readings on Facebook Lives, as many of you saw. Now, I'm a gifted cartomancer. I'm very accurate with my readings. The people that were on those broadcasts can tell you they're spot on. And so doing a free reading and offering folks a chance to work with you should have been a piece of cake for somebody like me. And if you've ever watched a card reader on Facebook Live or you've done them yourselves, sometimes you know that there are some really good, very talented and gifted people out there who seem to be struggling. So go ahead and drop a comment and say, not in the cards, if you know what I mean. If you're just another one of the 17,400 people offering essentially the same thing, you've got a lot of competition out there. And don't tell me that you're different either, because I didn't use a traditional tarot deck. I didn't use a traditional tarot spread. I went straight for the Stregoneria approach because that's gaining such popularity in pop culture today, unfortunately. And with about 100 to 150 people watching each one of those broadcasts, guess how many people paid for a reading? One. So again, Jim Rohn was spot on when he said that you need to just move outside of the box. You can't be a Me Too practitioner. It just doesn't work. So that got me thinking, what could I do to help people financially support their practicing witchcraft? What could I contribute to be part of the solution instead of just hashing like everybody else does? Oh, well, you can go to dollar store. Yeah, you can go to dollar store. I do. You can go to Five Below and find lots of things for your craft. But you can also go to Michael's. You can also go to flea markets. You can also reach out to other practitioners and see if maybe some of them are offering some of the things that you use. And in return, you could barter, you could exchange. But go ahead, and I've waited all night for this. Go ahead and drop a number 2 if you're ready. If you're ready to see the second secret. I've got a post-it note there with that on it. And if you're not laughing that I said drop a number 2, then you are much more mature than me. I hate you, and you should turn this off. The second key to being able to to practice witchcraft without going on a budget is to find something or learn something that you can be passionate about that fits into your metaphysical mindset, your personal tradition, but which might be outside the box. So what I mean for that is, well, the best way to explain it would be to share what that means for me. See, for me, that was the easy part. A good part of my practice is what you might call that of a hedge witch for the past 30 years or so, especially since I have a doctorate in naturopathic medicine. I've worked with herbs and plants, essential oils, roots, and foods as both magical and practical medicine for a little over 29 years now. So helping people to become the very best versions of themselves, which is something I think everybody watching this shares, is the root of what I do. And so helping somebody to create a healthier mind, body, and spirit as part of that process was a good fit for me. And it's always been part of my practice of magic because it teaches me to listen better. It teaches me to look for and pay attention to nonverbal cues, to consult with the ancestors. It teaches me to ensure that I'm being respectful and of real service at all times to humanity. And it's a great source of referrals for my practice as well. And for me, the other part is personal. It's understanding how a lack of mental health, which begins in the gut, which begins with the foods that we eat, like most other diseases, was responsible for the uptick that we're seeing in the number of people that I love who've committed suicide in the past year. And so I made up my mind that I was going to find a way that would do it all, support my craft the way I've always done, and to do that by connecting people with solutions to their problems. Because here's something that I learned very early on, and that is that nobody buys products. People buy solutions. And nobody buys products from companies. People buy products from people. They buy solutions from people. So now I'm going to tell you that this is not about asking you to sign up with one of the dozen or so essential oil companies or nutrition companies or diet or skincare deals that so many of the folks I know have thrown good money into and thrown good money away. And remember, I said key number 1 is don't get caught up in Me Too deals. So what if there was a way? Now let's think outside the box. What if there was a way to connect at a deeper level with people and literally help them take back the control of their emotional lives, their spiritual lives, and physical well-being within 30 to 45 days? For most of us who are engaged in a practice that is outward facing, that's what we do on a daily basis. That's why we do readings. That's why we offer divination and journey work. That's why we practice. If for no one else, then for ourselves, to be able to take back the control of our emotional and spiritual and physical well-being. And what if you could do that without risking thousands of dollars on inventory and ads and promotional events and having to learn whole new ways of doing things because you already understand your practice as a practitioner of magic, we'll call it. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you how to connect with one such idea for less than $5 a day, probably about the price you'd pay for a cup of coffee for a latte at your favorite coffee shop. But let's keep moving on, because I promised you we are going to get to 3 of those important keys that have allowed me to continue to practice magic, practice witchcraft without having to be on a budget. So let's get to that third key, and that is to create social networks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most of you are saying, wait a minute, social networks are already created for me. I thought you said don't do a Me Too business. And second of all, I don't have the tech skills. Well, you're right. Social networks are created for you, and I did say don't do a Me Too business. But what I'm talking about when I say create a social network is literally getting out there and creating a network socially, connecting with people. Because again, remember, people are looking for solutions to their problems, but they're going to get those not by buying a product, they're going to get those by buying a solution from someone that they know, like, and trust. And so the next thing you could do is something I was asked to work on recently, and that is to find ways to connect practitioners from various traditions, especially those who are teaching courses, who are writing books, those who have, powerful and beautiful practices in traditions outside of your own, or maybe even in traditions that include your own, by putting the idea that the first thing you're going to do, the first objective, the primary goal, is to get out there and help people solve their problems. And so if you don't have that skill, if you don't have the solution, then find somebody that you know, that you've cultivated a relationship with and you've cultivated trust with, somebody you like, and make that referral. And so I'm working on a project right now that creates the kind of community that also means there's an opportunity to learn the secret that online marketers have mastered for years now, which gives them cutting edge in the marketplace over others in the social media space, and how to convert that or tweak that so that it works for the practice of metaphysics, the practice of magic and witchcraft. And this technique that I've helped to create over the last 10 years means that you get more views with fewer followers, you get more engagement with fewer followers, you get more income for your practice of witchcraft without having to go on a budget. And I thought about offering that as a paid service, and many of you remember a couple weeks ago I talked about doing a webinar that would offer that very thing. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that really just doesn't resonate with my interests. I'm not interested in going out there and hawking social media classes. I really care about my community, and I really care about and really want to empower my brother and sister witches and warlocks and sorcerers and practitioners of magic, and the healing arts. And so one of the ways that I can do that, one of the ways I can free up more of my time, is by expanding this outreach that I have to really make a difference in the world in terms of body, mind, and spirit health. And so I'm going to be sharing these techniques with anyone who want to learn, whether they decide to lock arms with me on step 2 or not, because I've made a pact to help at least 6 people to learn how to financially support their practicing witchcraft or healing, energy work, sorcery, root work, or divination practices without needing a job or a second job or being on a budget. And guys, this is the entire reason I've not had to work outside my practice for the past 15 years. And those of you who've known me for some time know that that's the case. This is what I do full time. And the best part about it is that my technique and this project helps you to not only gain more clients in the project to help generate immediate income for you, and guaranteed income that doesn't dry up or go away when you decide you're going to go on a conference or a retreat or participate in a gathering of some sort. It's income, it's residual income, so it continues to produce month after month. So these are the three keys. I hope that they make sense. If they make sense to you, go ahead and put "make sense" in the comments below. But there are three keys that allow you to say no to beginning to practice your witchcraft on a budget, and to be able to go boldly in the direction of your dreams, as Thoreau would say. Because I truly believe that if you're going to do something, then how you begin should be, you should proceed the way that you intend to end up, to, with the end in me, or the end in mind, as they say. And that means not having a lack consciousness, not having a consciousness of, oh, I can't really do these spells, or create these candles, or make these oils for my clients. I can't really do what I'm really passionate about because I don't have the money to get started. You can start as small as you need to, right where you are. And for those who decide that they want to lock arms with me and learn this second step, it's really just about exploring your options and saying, hey, is this a good fit for me? Because I don't know if this is a good time for you to link arms with me in creating this supplemental income. By expanding our practice, and reaching out to the world to help ensure mental wellness, to help ensure spiritual wellness and physical wellness in a different way. I don't know if the timing's right for you, but I do know this: 6 weeks or 6 months from now, you and I could be talking about the progress that you've made, the money you've put in your pocket, and the clients that you've been able to engage at a greater and higher level by being of more service, by doing something that's not me too, but something that's really unique and brings value to the marketplace. Or you could do nothing and find yourself 6 weeks older, 6 weeks further in debt, 6 weeks more frustrated that you're not meeting your financial goals, and you've not been able to advance your practice. So just remember, if you partner with me, you get to make crazy ass videos like this, where you can tell people to drop a number 2 in the comments. And after all, wouldn't it be nice if we could all do that and tell Donald Trump tell people to drop a number 2 in Donald Trump's Twitter feed comments? Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. This was the first shot and first go round. So I had a limited number of questions to work with. I hope this has been an interesting topic. And like we say on the end of all of our broadcasts, stay in the moment, because that's where the power is. Recognize that if you fill that moment with gratitude for the things you've got, then you open the door for the abundance that waits for you. And always remember, the best is yet to come. I'll talk to you soon. I love each and every one of you, and look forward to our being able to spend some time together in the future. Namaste, everybody.